Santa Ana. A Pacoima gang member sat fidgeting at a council table Thursday with his hands chained to his waist when he was sentenced to death for killing a Buena Park businessman nearly 9 years ago during a kidnap and murder for money plot orchestrated by the victim's sister. Armando Macias, 35, became the third conspirator to receive the death penalty for the October 2, 2002, shooting death of David Montemayor, 44, who was gunned down on a residential street when he tried to escape from his kidnappers so they would not reach his home and harm his family. Macias, who has the name of his violent street gang tattooed on the back of his shaved head, turned around a few times and smiled at family members in the courtroom before he was let out. This was a caught-in-the-act murder, Superior Court Judge Francisco Briceño said before sentencing, adding that Macias has a history of violence before, during and after the slaying and was on parole after serving a stint in prison for manslaughter. This was a cruel and baseless murder of an innocent businessman, Briceño said. Susan Montemayor, the victim's widow, sat in the courtroom gallery listening quietly when the judge told Macias he should suffer the death penalty. She has attended and testified at 5 trials for 5 separate defendants charged with murdering her husband. "I'm just glad it's over," she said. It was only the second time in Orange County history that 3 defendants in the same crime were given the death penalty. The other time was in 1960. An Orange County jury recommended in April that Macias be executed rather than spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. The same jury earlier convicted him of first-degree murder plus several special circumstances, including murder for financial gain, murder during a kidnapping and murder for the benefit of a street gang. Macias was part of a team of killers hired by Deborah Ann Perna, Montemayor's sister, to abduct and kill Montemayor so she could take control of the family trucking business, according to testimony during previous trials. Perna hatched the plot to kill her brother, prosecutors argued, after she learned that their father planned to hand over management of the business to his son. Deputy District Attorney Michael Murray told the jury in Macias' trial that Perna's hatred, anger and jealousy toward her brother triggered the kidnapping, murder and a wild police pursuit through Orange County that was captured by television cameras in helicopters. Perna was introduced to co-defendant Anthony Navarro, 44, a veteran Pacoima gang member, by an intermediary when she sought someone who would commit a murder for money, according to testimony. Navarro then arranged for 3 younger gang associates, including Macias, to kidnap Montemayor when he arrived at the trucking company's office in Dominguez Hills. The 3 gang members were told they could keep thousands of dollars in cash that Montemayor was said to have hidden in coffee cans in his Buena Park garage in exchange for killing him, according to testimony. But the gang members never made it inside the garage to search for the coffee cans because Montemayor bolted from the kidnap car on a Buena Park street in the early morning rather than allow the abductors to take him to his home, where his wife and children were waking up to start the day. Montemayor was shot down as he ran, probably by Macias, according to trial testimony. Buena Park police flooded the area immediately after the shooting in response to 911 calls, and quickly spotted the gang members fleeing in a stolen car. All 3 gang members were arrested after a wild pursuit, during which time they tossed weapons out of the window. The chase ended in Anaheim when Buena Park police executed a pit maneuver to disable the getaway car. Detectives never found any secret stash of cash and coffee cans in Montemayor's garage. Gerardo Lopez, 26, a Pacoima gang member who was a juvenile at the time of the offense and who was part of the killing squad, was tried as an adult, convicted and sentenced in 2006 to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Navarro, 44, was convicted of first-degree murder plus several special circumstances and was sentenced to death in 2008. Alberto Martinez, 33, the getaway driver, was convicted in 2010 and sentenced to death. Perna, 54, was convicted of first-degree murder plus special circumstances in 2006 and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Macias was also convicted in April of attempted murder for trying to kill Navarro in a holding cell of the North Justice Center during a pretrial hearing after the gang had a falling out.